I have them all. I don't know who I need more. Keith, you're coming in because you did so good. Everyone is now levels. I have full crew. If I need to switch these out for another crew, I'm going to be a little fucked. My blurred vision slowly comes into focus, as does my dazed mind. It feels like something just wreaked havoc through my head. Faust, know anything about what just happened? Faust? Wait, why is everyone here? Huh? Did you guys finish restoring the facility? What? Why is everyone here? I'll explain the sequence of events, as it's clear that the manager once again remembers none of it. Approximately 7 minutes prior to the flame on her head began to conflagate it as it did in the previously observed instance before the absent sinners were, for lack of a better descriptor, summoned or materialized here. I did that? I remember thinking really hard that I needed the sinners to be here, but did I unlock a new power the way I did in our times of need, like when we fought Don Quixote or when we were helping Hong Lu? But this feels different. Maybe it's a power to summon the sinners to me when things get dicey. Nay, that does not seem to be the case, Dante. What you have summoned are not the sinners, but identities. Their forms, mirrors reflected and opaquely shaped, and yet inarguably overridden. Like Yi-song said, the summoned sinners all stood in eerie silence. It was like I was staring at the empty husk standing at the ready for my command. Their identities, and what about the actual sinners who were all separated from us? No way for us to know at this point. Let's just appreciate this opportunity while we have it. What matters is that we do not lose the golden balls, right? He's not wrong. I don't like this, but we're not exactly in a position to pick and choose. The 12 sinners now together approach the sole enemy. Hi. Okay, they called that monolith? That's not good. That's not good. You have the best clash power of this. Okay, I guess I look at the skills. Level 77? Poise. Target heals 5 SP. How do you automatically have 45? That's not good. Eh. Yeah, she's stuck at 1 health.
너 방금은 실수였던 거죠?
I might put a pause on this. I want to come at this another way. Slash, I'm getting invited to play something else that I think I'm interested in playing, so I'm going to pause here and come back another time. A couple excerpts. Let's see. I'll start here. For Yoshihide had included sinners from all stations in life, from the most brilliant luminary of His Majesty's exalted circle to the basest beggar and outcast. A courtier in magnificent ceremonial vestments, a nubile lady in waiting in 5-layered robes, a rosary-clutching priest intoning the holy name of Amida, a samurai student on a high wooden cause, and aristocratic little girl in simple shift, a yin-yang diviner swishing his paper through the air. I could never name them all, so there are multiple within the painting, which could account not just for the nurse fathers, but maybe as well the children. But this particular excerpt also got me thinking, because I feel like this so matches the middle in particular, or as one of the potential. Yoshihide said with a strange growl, I want to see a person in chains, so do what I tell you. Sorry about this, but it will take a little while. Yoshihide can mouth apologetic phrases, but he issued cold commands without the least show of sympathy. This particular apprentice was well-built lad who looked even more suited to be wielding a sword than a paintbrush, and even he must have been shocked by what had happened. The idea of, okay, we have at least one apprentice bound with chains, which is the aesthetic of the middle as a whole, but just serves to, I think, better match. But let's give this one another shot. I think I am gonna bring in the awe, and I also did level up ring for this as well, and the night owls. Do I have DJ? Let's start with these. If need be, I might need to just grind levels. I'm pretty sure we already made it to their dialogue, so I skipped it. Okay.
대체로 저럴 때는 이유가 있는 법입니다. 이유를 잡아 쫓아보시죠.
I have to hit all of them to hit match. Struggling. Clash lose, gain to attack power down. Okay. So losing the early clashes seem like it will, but if you don't win those early clashes, you lose that. Clash potential. I'm kind of just gonna gamble and see how this goes. Okay, yes. I seem to not get nervous about the end part and focus on winning those early clashes, because that will be the factor. Yeah, that was not as bad. Granted, I also had a lot of high-level skills that first round. So, favored, dominating, you're labeled hopeless. But you may be back at that one. one do you want? Or take you. Okay. That's probably better. These two will hopefully win their clashes. The clash fire will go down for the remaining of these. I don't like that she's building up ailments with these red coins. That's an issue. Good Lord.
기가 튀기.
Okay.
비록 함께 전장에 나서는 건 아니지만 저희를 이끌어주는 건 단테님만 할
Also
수
has
있는
half
거예요.
the blade trail
이번에도 분명
inflicted.
원하시는 길로 저희를 잘 이끌어 주시겠죠?
Lose 5 SP. There. Definitely going better than my first run at this.
아, 여기서 이런 공격이 잘 먹히는군요.
We might be through the barrier in like 10 more turns.
고 해실거리면 상황이 다 좋게 좋게 넘어가나 6번 수감자.
This is such a tanky fight.
항상 지켜보고 있었지.
Damn, Gregor.
위에서 당신을
오케이.
관리자로 정한 데에는 합당한 이유가 있다.
Clash should go regardless of speed. Cannot be staggered until
단테.
consume all blood trail on target. Or plate trail. After image on target. Consume percent HP damage. Okay. Focused on Ryushu. Sumo blood trail. Can't stagger the target.
총알값 아까울 놈은 아니군.
이런 무력한 상황에서
Fuck.
저는 항상 눈을 돌리고 무상히 미소 지었어요. 하지만 이젠 그러지 않아도 되는 거니까요.
받아볼 텐가.
Pretty sure at the very least Ryoshi was gonna be immortal for this fight.
경외감 속에 숨어
Similar to how it was in the Sora fight. Yep, down to 1 HP, still fighting. It's not super crazy that she is this way. I guess it just was not as clear when they did this like shift
이걸로 대신하지.
to have her be immortal in this Canto. Ishi's was fairly clear when she was going
그간의 전투
nuts.
쓸모가 없진 않았군요. 딴테 적합한 조치였습니다.
나선 속을 벗어날 순 없다.
Like, seemingly, Ryoshu can only die if all the other sinners are dead. Which is slightly different than Ishi. Ishi was sole survivor even with all the other sinners down. If I remember correctly. Damn it. Lost Gregor.
달라질 운명. 아니야.
항상
Who was number 8?
있었지.
I think it's Otis. No, it might be one just Otis coming in. Yeah.
패잔병같이 무릎을 꿇고
Okay,
있을
Otis
때
and
식사를
Donkey now.
하자. 평소처럼 넉살 좋게 같이 상황을 개선해 보시지.
Okay. We don't have to win this fight, do we? It has to be a health threshold thing, right?
나라도 그렇게 했을 테지. 아, 이만하면 훌륭하군.
I think we hit the health threshold. As I literally say that. Like, actually? Okay, cool. The identities were incomplete, perhaps due to the abruptness in which they were summoned, and were nowhere near strong enough to stand against the Pinky Nurse Father. I am not even a threat to her. Am I not even a threat to her? She did not cast even a single sideways glance toward me, as though to say that so long as I didn't stand in her way, she wouldn't bother attacking me. Let's go again, CH.
다시.
Her quiet gaze was fixated intently on Ryoshu's wounded form. Facility power restoration complete. The PA system buzzes and the whirring sounds I assume to be coming from the reactivated elevators begin filling the hallways.
그걸 가지고
Crawling back to the house of spiders with that, huh? You're much more tolerable, mute. Glad I S my TC. I'm assuming SYT is slice your tongue. And I'm assuming the last word is cunt. That was when the woman began to speak from behind the veil, even though I was certain her tongue had been cut off as I had seen in that memory. What an unbearable sight it is
그 신락 같은
to see you still holding on.
이 여자는
Holding on to
움켜쥐고
that
있는
single frayed thread of memory.
내 놈.
How are you speaking?
그 역겨운
I remember
혀.
chopping off your foul tongue with this sword.
어차피 그 머릿속은
There should be
낱낱이
nothing left for your
조각날
mind but shattered bits of memory.
무엇하러 그걸
Why even go
구하려
through all this
용을
trouble to save that thing? Oh shit. Okay, I had an inkling of a thought, and I'll wait till this fully goes through, but we'll keep going through this dialogue before I go.
그 놓치지 않은
I'm still holding on to that single thread,
그걸 따라
and it
여기까지
led
온
me
거다.
here. I'm going through all this trouble because I can still see that single thread still connected through where everything has been severed and sheared.
틀.
Wrong.
순서가
You've got it
무엇이든
backwards.
다른 모든 것들이
It is precisely
해집어졌으니
because everything else has been severed and shredded that your feelings are mere illusions.
그
Do you
얼굴을
even
기억나.
remember her face, her voice, her height? Do you even remember how you used to spend time with her?
엄마
Mommy.
라고 불러도
Can I call you Mommy?
부르는 게 어떻든
You can call me whatever. It doesn't matter.
아니야.
But it does.
엄청 달라져
There's a
엄마.
big difference, Mommy.
울림이 달라지잖아.
It's got a different echo, don't you think? Admit it already.
그것마저 놓치면
You're holding on to that thread because without it, you'd have nothing left.
그래서 고작 컸어.
That's why you're hugging so tightly onto that illusion,
전부인 것처럼
like it's your
끌어안고
everything. Hilarious.
옛날 같았더니
Had it been all those years ago, your words would have cut through my heart like a knife.
엄마는 왜 항상
Why do you always talk to me like that, Mother?
그런 말 들으면
Whenever you do that, it hurts. It hurts right here, even though I don't bleed like you're stabbing me.
그래서
So,
불행한가?
does that make you feel miserable? Huh?
네가 생기고
My life has been nothing but an unending stream of misery ever since you happened. Did you know that?
대답하렴.
Go ahead, answer me. I know.
알아요.
그래.
Good. Don't you ever forget that. Don't forget that you're the weight tied to my ankle. You dragged me down here. And you have the nerve to whine about some mean words. When did I permit you to look at my face? Look away.
죄송해요.
Sorry.
엄마 얼굴
I won't look at your face without your permission, Mother. I won't complain about hurting either. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
내 놈들 모두 예전과
None of you
비교가
has changed one bit since the last time I saw you.
그래서
And that is so satisfying to watch.
만족스럽 자신의 처지에
And now
대한
all
탓을
you ever
누군가에게
know to
돌려
do is blame
화내지만
everyone
않지.
else for your miseries,
헛부리는 시도는
while never
누구도
trying to
하지
change
않을
yourself.
그러니
No wonder none of you ever managed to leave the House of Spiders. That quagmire of a place. Quagmire? I don't disagree. The only way to be free is to have never been caught in it to begin with. For you and me both. The Pinky Nurse Father let out a wry laughter as she muttered, "Besides, we are no strangers. You and I, we lived on the same roof for years, haven't we? I don't know about the other Nurse Fathers, but I can see right through your mind. Perhaps for you, hiding that child inside that safe may have seemed like the best plan at the time. What a tight space you've squeezed her into, a hole so small that only a child could ever have hoped to fit inside." What did you say? The Pinky Nurse Father smote down upon Ryoshu's sword, holding it in place. "You dare swing that thing at me, you presumptuous fool. If you're serious about this, do unsheath the sword as you did then. You're nothing if you've no heart to do even that. You always make that same face whenever I hurt you. Why do you always ill to me like on the day you swung that sword with such abandon, you left a rather nasty wound on me. Whatever this blade cut once will become cut again in its presence. A wound that has once healed shall reopen, and the prosthetics that replace the limb shall fall away and reveal the old amputation as their mechanical joints come apart. That was supposed to be the absolute rule of this blade, a rule without exception. You told me that this power demands the sacrifice of memories. The truest proof of that is real. Well, when has the discussion of truth and lies ever meant anything? So the sword thing explains why Valencia's eye, which likely was also damaged by Ryoshu, starts to bleed in Ryoshu's presence. The second fact, Dihu speaking and seemingly knowing more, having more knowledge, having more clued in to the actuality of Ryoshu's memories, has kind of keyed into one thought I did have. Because I mentioned at the start of this, one character I would have liked to have seen is sort of our unreliable narrator of the Hellscreen novel. But I think in the instance for Limbus, our unreliable narrator is likely Ryoshu. And I had this thought as I was rereading before starting this, partly because Ryoshu does lack her own memories. It is unclear if some of those memories are real or true. Even the ones we're seeing seem broken and shattered. That there's maybe some truth to them, but there's also potentially some that are fabrications within her mind meant to protect her as well. So I'm not sure which are which. I think we'll learn that by the end. But yeah, that was definitely something I had an inkling for that seems well more present and true now. Once I'm reinstated, I'm going to get that central conciliatory bits to give me something for the trouble. The fucker has no idea what kind of shit I'm going through out here. The House of Spiders. How is it that it is still operational? Oh, Virgil knows about it. You really know how to fuck with my ego. A bit rude, don't you think? I'm standing right here. You could have at least do me the courtesy of pretending to be winded. This isn't a goddamn Q&A session.
너희가 본사연
I know you and the rest have infiltrated the HQ research facility because you couldn't let Sinner number 4 go. Sinner, you've got some awful manners calling my kid something like that. Gave her a number like she's some prisoner, too. You overestimate your connection to my ticket, Red Gaze. Your journey has lasted barely more than a year, and you're lording over her like you're in charge, calling her Sinner this, Sinner that. I've been teaching Ticket ever since her tiny little baby hands held a knife for the first time. There's gotta be more than your twisted, possessive sense of attachment that kept the House of Spiders alive for all those years. It seems that all of you were bound there by something that only Simmer number 4 can provide, something you're all still holding on to. You have no idea what I had to endure to get my ticket. I'm not letting her go to waste like some shitty scrap paper. Yeah, the fact that you call her ticket means like she's more of a possession or something for you, i.e. like meal ticket, just money ticket, whatever. Like she's an object to get somewhere else. Oh yes, over a decade's worth of preparation went into this. She's a culmination of our collective wish. Thanks for looking after our runaway pup, but she's got some pedigree, you know. It's about time you sent her back to her loving parents. So this is what you've been stalling for, I see. Yeah, this shit gig's coming to an end too. And don't even think about activating that ego of yours. My neighbor's good-for-nothing burden uses that too. It's always so obvious when she's about to use it. My neighbor's... Oh, thumb pointer, so Sora. That's who she's talking about. You think you can get away from me if I don't activate my ego? Ooh, so scary. I know what you're good at, and I know what you got you that red color. The Smoke War, Syndicate Strifes, Finger Bow Bell. I've already seen and done too much. Once I tumbled through all those big events, I made so many connections. Things that I should know, shouldn't be able to know, follow the thread right back to my eyes and ears. Intriguing to think that there are idlers who've gotten enough time on their hands to feed a stray dog forsaken by her familia. Wouldn't you agree, Valenciano? Shut up. Stop trying to get a rise out of me. I mean, it's really easy for him too. I just realized Virgil's smirk. If it weren't for Rain's plan, I wouldn't have long made mincemeat out of your cake before killing you too, Red Gaze. Huh. It's about time I headed home, but you're not about to let me leave without a fight, huh? I can't have a textbook bleed out while I fight. Looks like I need some insurance. Glad I kept my rapier nice and sharp. See, the slightest brush with its edge can cleave right through. Unless you want to see me draw a thin red line along your precious kid's throat, put that weapon down on the ground. Then kick it away out of your reach. Very good. Now, I'll put the kid down and count to 3. Slowly, mind you. If we've come this far, you don't want to watch my hand slip and drop this kid on the ground all wrong, do you? 3. Come on, don't give me that look. 2. Nice catch. Looks like you made a mess of my textbook, but hey, it's nothing I can't piece back together. Gonna take this one home now, ciao. Oh boy, would you look at that. Look at the time. Yo, bowl cut. Bowl cut? Are you talking to me?
니놈,
I get it. You've got enough strength to back up all that swagger, but don't get too cocky.
보니까
I'm running a bit busy, so I'll write you up in the book for now, and next time it's brawn versus brawn. Papa,
너도 챙겨야 할
looks to me like you've got your own people to take care of, and I've got mine. Why don't we go our separate ways for now?
잘 생각해.
Smart
내
choice.
장난감들
Now
잘
go ahead and
붙여놓고
fix up
있어.
my toys in the meantime.
어차피 곧
You're gonna,
배송해줄 거잖냐.
on a priority, ship them to my front door soon anyway, aren't you?
그리고 난
By the way, I appreciate a good bowl cut. I must have lost track in time, lured by that light.
어느덧 회전할 시간이
What a pity, it's already choosing time for this gallery. One must wonder, why does every instance of immersion carry the promises of its breaking? Such was the steadfastness of Martin's will. On the other hand, it seems you were far too ignorant to have understood the concept of self-sacrifice. I see. It is often said that to pursue art is to embark on an endless journey of learning, and I certainly enjoyed this learning opportunity down to how he burst, and the following fireworks of flesh and bone from that explosion of performance. I hope her reunion will come sooner than later. Come visit my gallery, won't you? I must say, I'm starting to look forward to hearing your critique of it.
그자도 너무하는구나.
What a heartless person she is.
자기 자식 아니라고.
To leave you behind in such a state, even if you aren't her child, that is rather uncharitable behavior.
이제 집에 가자.
Let's head home, Sora. Stop. Stop. Don't go. I saw your report card on my way here, sweetie.
그자들이 왜 너를
I understand why they might have placed you in third place, but I hope you won't lose heart over it.
사람을 죽이는
Because when it comes to killing Yoshihide, you're in a class beyond the first and second rates. I don't give a shit. Mr. Rain, can you share the code to Xenon's tortoise spiral with them? They're good, kind people. They saved me when the ceiling caved in on me. Is that so? Alright. The spirals all share the same password, which is obviously your birthday, sweetheart. Even on that day, I brought a cake, as the prescript ordered me to, because I couldn't think of any gift that'd make you happy. And it always weighed heavily on my heart that you never even got to have a single bite of it. Be sure to dress your wounds so they won't scar, okay? Tell me, have you, all of you, always known where I'd hidden her? Well, here's a very simple answer to your very simple question. Why don't you come home and find out? Don't go. Don't go. Not like this. Honey, what you just said was pretty effective. It hit me right in my heart, and for a moment it stung. The moment we became certain that the index nurse father was gone, the sinners all collapsed to the ground with a collective exhausted sigh. Whenever we'd encountered him, he had never once averted his eyes from Ryoshu, as though the rest of us posed no threat against him. Replaying his words in our minds, the nonchalance with which he invited Ryoshu to come back home, we let the silence he left behind wash over us, overwhelmed by the sheer momentality of it, the task before us. Okay, I was saying in chats of, we're not even at, like, where Ryoshu came from. We have been in Limbus headquarters, and if this didn't actually go to where Ryoshu came from, I was going to be a little upset. What is that? He has left something behind. It appears to be a safe. Ryoshu hurriedly toward the safe left behind by the index nurse father. She kneeled before the locked safe and placed her trembling hands over it. Before reaching to the door with such tenderness that she seemed completely different from the person who would have just made a mad dash toward it a few seconds ago. Her hand was bumpy with old, rough, and but distinct scars, and some of those scars that had never fully healed were numbers that made her eyes flit desperately between the skin where she etched and the safe. Trembling, Ryoshu opens the rusty door. The tiny space inside where a child was supposed to be waiting for her mother's return was empty, as though someone had carved out a piece of reality from the world. Strength seemed to drain out of Ryoshi's hand as the fingers that tightly gripped around the door handle fell limp, as though the sheer weight of the emptiness spread from the tip of her fingers into every part of her body. Araya. Ryoshu? We all heard the name that slipped between Ryoshu's lips like a dying whisper. It was the name of the child whom she was supposed to find in there. Before we could ask her more about Araya, Ryoshu fell to the ground unconscious. Is this my name?
그래.
Yes. Yeah. Araya. That's how you read it.
너무 어렵게 생겼어.
It's too hard to read. Hope it's not something as random as Saru.
엄마 이름은 어떻게
How do you write your name, Mommy?
자,
Go on,
읽어봐.
read it. Ryoshu.
아니.
No, that's not how you read those letters.
요시대라고 읽는 거야.
Yoshihide. That's how you say it.
요슈.
Ryoshu.
이게 더 편하고
It's prettier and easier. The facility has been restored, of course. Would take time, but the LCC and pilot have immediately been put under recovery procedures. Ample's not enough. Year, month, and date 95704 or 04. Yeah, 7 digits. It worked. Oz told us, so we managed to disable those stakes. Is Ryoshi still? It's only been 4 days since the meeting where they laid down all those warnings to keep me from intervening. And now it may as well have never have happened. The preparations are complete. Manager, how is Center number 4? Still a bit dazed, but she's recovered. Dante says it shouldn't be a problem. The clock is not a cure-all, Dante. I think she's in shock, and that's not the kind of wound I can rewind. The LCB is prepared to take part in this mission. Lady Team Leader has expressed that the LCD sees no reason not to participate. All ready for deployment on our end too. LCA Vanguard Team 1, Ujat radio check. Reading loud and clear. LCA Team number 1 ready for assault. Our objective remains the same. LCA's primary purpose will be to remove any and all post-infiltration obstacles. One question remains, however. Are we absolutely certain about this formation? Is there a problem? Directing your misgivings regarding the plan to me, and I, Otis, shall answer them. We landed on this after much discussion with everyone, but the problem... Ooh. Is that who Otis's idea was based off of? It's non-existent. In consideration of Limbus's current roster, this is an optimal as our current division of power can be. Recalling your pathetic performance back at the HQ, you really are. The Special Operation Unit wasn't built for the kind of mission. Don't blame them. Besides, that incident left a nasty bruise on our pride, and we're not letting it slide. Are we going to sip tea and chat all day, or are we going to get a move on? We're just about ready. Backdoor connection established. You should be resting, Zod. I don't care. Are you sure you should be out and about, or so soon? You best sit back and focus on recovery until they get a prosthetic arm attached. I'm okay. Bleeding stopped. I'll open the door after counting down from 5. 5. Boss, are you sure about taking that gear? No need to worry on my account. The tests, limited as they were, have proven that I am more than capable of using it. Are you certain about taking that gear into battle? There's no other ego gear I'm more familiar with than this one. Keep an eye on your attunement levels and do watch out for abnormality. Use voices.
내 부탁을 가볍게 듣지 말게.
This is my request to you. Don't take it lightly. 4. I don't like this. Even with backup plans upon backup plans prepared, walking straight into the enemy's stronghold is... At least we won't be the ones getting taken unawares this time, team leader. This is our chance to get back at them for what they've done, right, Junior? Truly so, though I cannot be part of this endeavor. Eh? Not you, Miss Ando. I'm talking about the Teen Junior right here, our very own Baby P. You just sit tight and think about what style you want for your new arms. I don't see any reason why I should be the one. I should be called the Junior around here. Yeah, he's the color of your group. Okay. I'm sorry, it's just weird. The only colors I deal with were ones that I'm just like, you, like, give, like, wholehearted respect to. Granted, it was Indigo, who was the old, like, sailor man in Canto 5 hunting whales. And apparently maybe have killed a few of them. And if he can kill some of the whales, then... Whew. And Virgil scares me. I love Virgil. He's also terrifying. And when Miss Andu and Bamboo had a Kim, when Miss Andu and Bamboo had it, Kim have joined us. Oh, so he's part of their group technically too. So when he does recover, he could be part of the LCD. Which would mean we would see him. Did you know the unspoken rule, once a junior, always a junior? Ezra Vesper, save your strength for our actual enemies. 3. I hope you've all drilled the plan into your heads, men. Verily, I have taken the plan to heart. We shall strike down the wicked with furious justice. Guys, check your pockets again for amples. Make sure you have all of them, okay? Most people can't even dream of getting their hands on these top-of-the-line amples. Keep them close and tight, because we're going to need them if we're separated from the manager. 2. Reporting, LCA, LCB, LCD, LCE, Assault Team. Mission preparations complete. Final authorization from the HQ received and confirmed. Let's finish this. And it goes without saying, but we'll make sure they get theirs. You can say that again. 1. We'll be there soon, Ryoshu. The place where those people raised you. The House of Spiders.
괜찮아.
I'll be fine.
기다리고 있을게, 엄마.
I'll be waiting for you here, Mommy. Operation Spider Pyre commence mission. Okay. So that's done. A lot of reveals there. I don't know if we'll be entering, if it will be a dungeon. This might be an instance where a dungeon could work, but could be open to not being just one long run through. I think it would be easier if it were a dungeon, because then you can, like, build up resources. Because doing those Nurse Mother fights without having a build-up of ego resources and sanity, at the very least ego resources, because I know checkpoints will reset the sanity, but ego resources would be real nice to be able to build up to take in between each of those fights. There's still a lot of questions. I have one. I don't know, she mentioned Saru. But the other one we have is Sora. So who is Saru? But they say Saru, so I thought Saru would have been the name of the child, but maybe that's something else? not quite tied to it.